Sup guys, this is my outfit to go on a first date, and I know what you might be thinking, maybe this is not enough for a first date, but once he realizes that I can't even do my multiplication tables, I don't know long division, and I still count on my fingers, I don't think anyone's gonna be worried about this outfit.
Places I've had sex.
Put a finger down, places you've had sex edition. In a car. In a hotel. In a shower. Someone else's house. A movie theater. A cemetery. School. Work. A park. A river, pool, or beach. Wood.
Listen, I totally understand that my husband's attractive. Like, I get it. I married him. Totally get that. And I understand that, like, when he goes out without me, that women hit on him. That's normal. I get that as well. But to the lady who thought it was appropriate to, like, slide her number into his front pocket while he was playing pool, I feel like you and I should probably have a conversation as to why that's probably not the most appropriate thing to do. Again, politely. So I'm on my way and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a super nice chat, okay? Where's my bat?
I don't know what you're saying. Dude, it's She-Hulk, bro. You don't know about it.
It's real, bro. It's a whole lot.
Yo, you did that all to yourself.
Like, this is not real. This is not real.
I don't even know why
You know what I was thinking about is that though women, we outnumber men, and there are more good women available than there are good men available. I had to think about men don't have a lot of options to pick from neither nowadays. Think about it. First of all, they lead with their body because they ain't got no substance. They lack integrity, don't have no morals, don't know their worth, don't even know what it is that they want in a person. Haven't healed from childhood trauma. Still walking around with the band-aid off the wound that hasn't quite healed. Yeah. Y'all don't have many options to pick from. A lot of get on here and they looking to be tricked on or to trick on somebody. Like, think about it. Men don't have a lot of options to choose from neither. Now that I think about it. They got a lot of options to choose from when it comes. But to get a man to commit, ooh, and to get that love and to feel safe and to feel vulnerable the way that they want to and to be transparent, yeah, that's slim for them. Because one thing it is, it's hard for a man to even commit. It's hard. But he don't even have that many options to even choose from these days, because a lot of these women don't even know how to be women to their men. They walking around with this feminine masculinity and they want to wear the panties and boxers too. Yeah, too. Call me back.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I just saw you from back there and I thought you looked very pretty.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Emily.
Emily? I'm Peter.
Nice to meet you.
I want you for Christmas. How old are you?
I'm 15.
Okay.
How old are you?
Nah.
Bro, spread it out of there. Be careful.
So she's making a lot of women upset right now because her post says that if you got a man that's going to work 40 to 60 hours a week to support you and he's working hard, he deserves your mouth as his alarm clock. He deserves you to pack him his lunch, and he deserves you to have his dinner ready when he returns home. And a lot of women in her comments they do not like this. You know why? You know why? Because they cannot fathom taking care of a man the way that they want a man to take care of them. They can't get it through their mind. They think that some musty poom poom every now and then is enough. And they can't fathom being there for and treating a man the way that they want to be treated. They can't fathom that. They just can't come to terms with it. And I'm going to say she's a rare breed, but there are a lot of good women out there like her. I would say not a lot. I would say 10 to 15%. So you kind of got to look through the haystack to try to find the needle. But there are still some out there who have a mind to be a good person and a good wife and be in a healthy, committed relationship. So gentlemen, good luck on finding them, because it's only about 1 out of 10, maybe 1.5 out of 10 left.
Just a quick question to anyone who's over 30. What are we supposed to be doing? Because I'm lost.
Okay, y'all, so my birthday is in 6 days. Okay, so, I got a roster of, dudes I talk to, have conversation with, whatever. I don't care if, we are not official or not. If you are conversing with a man, he needs to do something for your birthday. I don't care if y'all start talking last week, last month, yesterday. He needs to do something for you for your birthday. It don't matter if it's a, happy birthday. Here is $30 for lunch. Take yourself out. It don't matter if it's a, what you doing today. I'm busy today, but I'm gonna take you out for your birthday. This weekend. It does not matter. If you are associating with a man, and he don't do something for you for your birthday, he is automatically cut off. And don't let them tell you I don't celebrate those pagan holidays. Them not celebrating it is a personal choice. If you celebrate your birthday and he is in your life, he needs to do something for you. I don't care. So if if my birthday pass and every dude I talk to don't do something for me for my birthday, just know the roster will be open and some of y'all will have a chance again.
A guy I was talking to said some work, so I said, hey. That gave me the ick. And then he blocked me.
Okay, girls that's been in a relationship with a man for a while, do y'all meet new females, like get around females, and then the females be asking you questions like, what do your man do for you? How much bills he pay? Do he pay this? Like, why do females always feel the need to get around me and ask questions? For one, yes, he pay all bills. For two, I'm gonna lie to you because now I see your motive, because that's one thing I don't play about. Once you can ask me questions about drama, about this, Real Housewives, but once it comes to you get to ask the questions about my man, now I don't want nothing else to do with you. What's your motive? What's your goal? You trying to piece together my life too good,
The thing about skinny men that scares me is, why are y'all strong like that? My ex was super skinny, and we would like WWE SmackDown wrestle. And he would be picking me up and throwing me across the room like it was nothing. Not throwing me across the room, that makes it sound bad. He is a terrible person, but not in that way. I'll give him that. Like, why is your arm 3 inches in diameter and you somehow have the strength of a mythical boar? I don't like that. I don't like that.
5 years later, I'm still haunted by the words he said when he left me. 5 years ago, I ruined everything. I was engaged to the kindest, most loving man I'd ever known. He was the kind of person who made everyone around him feel cared for, safe, and loved. We were planning our wedding. I thought we were going to spend the rest of our lives together. And then I made the dumbest mistake of my life. I kissed someone else. It was meaningless and I regretted it the moment it happened. The guilt was unbearable. I told him the next day because I couldn't keep it from him. I begged for forgiveness, promised I'd do anything to fix it. But he just looked at me like I'd shattered something deep inside him. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just said, it's over, and walked out.
Wow.
I tried to reach him for weeks. He ignored every call and text. Eventually, I wrote him a long letter apologizing and asking him for one chance to talk. When he finally agreed to meet, I thought maybe, just maybe, we could work through it. We talked about our memories, the good times, the love we shared, all the dreams we had for the future. For a moment, it almost felt like old times. And then I asked him if he could ever forgive me. What he said next has been burned into my brain ever since. I hear it every single day, word for word, and it plays in my mind like a broken record. I hope someone comes into your life who makes you feel loved and safe just to betray you. I hope you spend every day wondering if the people you trust are lying to you. I hope you never feel secure in love again. I hope even when things seem perfect, there's a part of you that can't shake the doubt. I hope every I love you you hear makes you wonder if they really mean it. And when it all falls apart, when it breaks you, I hope you remember that this is what you gave me. He didn't say it to be cruel.
Whoa.
He wasn't a cruel man. He was the kindest, most selfless person I'd ever known. That's what makes it hurt so much. He said it because it was the truth, because that's what I did to him. He got up and left, but his words stayed. They live in my head, echoing constantly. Every night when I try to fall asleep, I hear them again. Every time I feel even a little happy, they come back to remind me that I don't deserve it. I've tried to move on, but I can't. I can't love anyone without doubting them. I can't trust anyone without waiting for the betrayal. Every relationship I've had since has fallen apart because of that fear. That voice in the back of my head telling me it's all going to happen again. I know I did this to myself. I know I might even deserve this, but living with it seems unbearable some days. I still know where he lives. He didn't move out of the apartment we used to share. He still works at the same company he did back then. I've kept track of him through mutual friends, though I've never asked him to relay anything back to him. I've watched from a distance as his life went on without me. And now, after all of these years, I'm thinking about going to him one more time to ask for forgiveness, to try and explain myself again, to tell him I've carried the weight of what I did every single day since he walked out. I don't even know what I'm hoping for. Maybe I just want to hear him say he's moved on, that he's happy, or that I can let go of the small, selfish part of me that wonders if he ever thinks about us. Or maybe I'm hoping he'll say he can forgive me, even if it changes nothing. I know I shouldn't. He deserves peace. I know my showing up will only dredge up old wounds, but I don't know how to let go of his words or the fact that I destroyed the only person who ever truly loved me. And in the top comment says, the kindest thing you can do is never to speak to him again.
Agreed. Move on.
Try and move on. Get therapy, girl.
Yeah.
You're going to need it.
Yeah.
Because those words were harsh, though.
Yeah.
I was like,
shocked I was. I know.
I was like, yes.
My mouth was
But
open
you know
for
what?
a minute.
Do you know what? That is what cheating does.
And as you can see, this woman regrets cheating on her fiance. And what's even more significant is that even if cheating isn't involved, modern women usually come back around to regretting losing the good man, thinking that they're the prize and they can get any man at any time.
Do y'all think healthy relationships get boring?
That is my point exactly. That's one of the main reasons why relationships don't work. Because of the way society thinks. It is out of this world. A comment like that? Oh, good luck, everyone. Say bye to relationships. Say bye to love. Say bye to all of it. Apparently, all of that is boring. And we wonder why, as a society, relationships keep failing. I got nothing more to say.
So a new study shows millennial men are not as interested as going out as the women. Yeah, that study was not needed because we already know that. We already know that. Most men have checked out the game completely. The game used to be fun. It used to be rewarding. There used to be benefits to the game. Now there isn't. Most men prefer to go to work, after work, hit the gym, go home, shower, throw on your PJs, eat some food, and get on the game, whether that be the PlayStation, Xbox. And it's just way more peaceful. And of course, I went to the comment section of that post, and there was a bunch of women in there saying that the men were broke because they didn't want to go out and spend their money on them. I want you to let that sit in. The women that don't have money are calling the men broke because the men don't want to go out and spend their money on people they don't know. Listen, before buying a woman a drink was a great way to spark up a conversation. Now they want you to buy them the drink and walk away and not say anything to them for free. And it doesn't work like that. These days, more men are just focused on their financial and mental health over everything else because all that is a waste of time.
So I just got completely banned from Hinge. Here are the receipts. Account has been removed. I'll be honest, this is not the first time this has happened to me. This would actually be the second time that I've been banned from Hinge. I don't know, maybe this is my sign to get off dating apps in 2025. Or at least like find a new dating app. Or maybe I'll meet somebody at one of my singles mixers and live happily ever after, cause sayonara.
And it's funny because with a video like this, you can read the comments and you can see just how many modern women are on their worst behavior. You can see exactly why men aren't interested in dating women down in the comments. I think there was a woman down there that said she was basically making fun of Republicans. Another woman said she didn't want a certain person, so Hinge banned her for hate speech and things of that nature. Just a lot of modern women out here talking about men are so rude, men hate women, and then they get on Hinge or other dating apps and be on their absolute worst behavior.
So I know some of y'all are gonna hate me for pointing this out, but I keep seeing 30 plus women brag about how YNs always try to talk to them. And I'm just trying to figure out, why do y'all think that's something to brag about? Like, they try to talk to all of us. Like, you're not special. The same way younger women talk to older men for stability, do too. Like, they're talking to you for one or two reasons. One, mostly, they're talking to you to see if you are desperate enough to buy them things. Two, they're talking to you to brag, to be able to say that they can of any age, or that they got an older woman crashing out about them, all of that stuff. Like, it's an ego thing and it's a stability thing. And you're not special. You're not so pretty or so amazing that you're trying to talk to you. They literally try to talk to all of us.
Guys be like, oh, I can't get a girl. Something must be wrong with me. You're handsome and you're single, but you sit at home all day. You ignore your text messages. You don't post on social media. And every time a girl looks at you, you give her this look. You don't want a girl. You just want your bed and money.
Will someone kindly tell me where men got the audacity? Because you're 35 years old and you're arguably more immature than a 22-year-old man. Your biological clock is dwindling and you're balding and you're trying to play games with all my friends.
The fact that you guys can't use multiple women as a flex anymore, because it's clear as day that a guy that sleeps around with multiple women with no standards, he's fighting his sexuality, and it's facts.
Y'all are going to absolutely hate me when I tell you this, but please let me teach y'all the game. So boom, there was this guy that I was talking to and I never really liked him, but we were always cool. Well, all of a sudden, this man gets to acting super nonchalant with me. And ever since he's been acting super nonchalant, he's been in my head rent free and hate y'all. So the other day I'm on the phone with my sister and I'm telling her about this man. And I'm explaining to her how this man has been in my head living rent free, just taking up space in my head. So my sis asked me like, well, do you think you like this dude? And I'm like, I've been thinking about him so much. Maybe I do like this dude. Then when I'm on the phone with her, there was a long pause and my sister was like, you don't like this man. And then I'm like, you're right. I never liked this man. I don't like this man. But then there's another long pause and I'm like, oh my God, do you know what it is? And she's like, what? I'm like, it's not that I like him. It's the fact that I want him to like me more than I like him. She's on the phone with me looking at me confused as hell, like, what is she talking about? And I'm trying to explain to my sister, like, that's it. It's the chase for me. I never liked this dude, but since he's been acting so nonchalant, it's giving me the idea that now I like him more than he actually likes me. So once I get this man back on, I won't have a desire for him anymore. It was always the chase. Then I'm sitting there on the phone with my sister, y'all, and I'm like, nah, it's not the chase. It's about me. It's always been about me. And now my sister's looking at me like I'm a crazy person. And I'm trying to explain to my sister, like, once I get this man to like me more than I actually like him again, it's going to be a ego boost for me. And I'm telling her, this is nothing more than a chase to boost my own ego. Because the only person I'm thinking about in this situation is me. And my sister at this point is like, I get what you're saying, but you're insane. You're a true villain. And she's right. I'm making this video to tell y'all to be careful out there. It's a cold world we living in, y'all, but game is game, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to avoid a person like me from destroying your mental. As soon as the person that you're interested in stops giving you the energy that they started off with, you need to leave. No ifs, ands, or buts. And once they start to realize that you're trying to leave, they're going to start to breadcrumb you back in so that you don't leave and that they can once again win. So, to avoid getting your feelings hurt, all in all, just leave, y'all. There are some people in this world, y'all, that are willing to breadcrumb you into liking them. And once they know they have you hooked, they feel absolutely nothing and they leave you hooked. Because at the end of the day, y'all, you were only a pawn in a game to boost their own ego. I hope this helps. Please don't hate me. I love you guys so much. Bye.
I am 39, never married, no kids, never been engaged. Do you think that I like saying that on this app? Do you think that that's how I would prefer to start out every single video? No, of course not. But I am committed to the cause on here, and TikTok won't push out my videos, so you won't see them unless I lead with that. Believe me, I am just as sick of hearing myself say it as you are hearing it. But I'm also, committed to this TikTok with y'all and with George. So I will keep doing it. If you could leave comments with your age and your marital status on all of my videos, maybe that will help so that I don't have to spend the rest of my TikTok career starting out with my name, age, and marital status. In fact, if you ever meet me in real life, I promise you, you will never hear me say those words all consecutively strung together in a sentence. It's not really what I lead with on my day-to-day life, okay? And that's just a little bit about me. That's just a little bit about me. There you go.
Am I the asshole for refusing to do anything around the house because my wife insisted on staying home with our child? This one feels like a trap. Does it feel like a trap to you guys?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not involved in it.
I, 28 male, have been with my wife, 27 female, for 4 years, married for 1. I'm an electrician and she's an accountant. I make about $60,000 a year and she makes about $55K. 7 months ago, we had our first child. My wife was supposed to go back to work 2 months ago. She took the maximum maternity leave her company allows, which is 6 months, which she started 1 month before labor. When it was time to resume work, my wife told me that she would feel guilt and sadness if we put our child in daycare. Therefore, she wants to stay home with him. I suggested therapy, but she's very persistent and says nothing a therapist will say will change her feelings. At this point, it seemed like I had no choice, so I started calculating how much I would have to work to compensate her income. I usually work 45 hours a week, 9 to 5, and without her income, it would have to be at least 65 to 70. 10 hours a day, every day of the week. I told my wife how grueling it would be, and she tried convincing me by saying I must sacrifice for our child, and she would do all the childcare and housework, and I wouldn't have to do anything around the house. Even without any housework, it's still very extreme, but I reluctantly agreed because I felt like I had no choice. So it happened. My wife resigned from her job, company policy, if you don't come back, you get replaced. And I picked up the extra hours. My day starts by going to the gym at 5 a.m. It's the only thing keeping me sane. And then I would work from 7 to 5 and get home at 5:30, absolutely spent, and I would just take a shower and rest. During the first month or so, my wife kept her word and took care of the housework, but then she started expecting me to help her around the house, and I would remind her of our agreement and she would look annoyed but move on and do it herself. 2 days ago, she told me that she's tired and wants me to make dinner, and I flat out refused, and I told her she's breaking her promise, and made it very clear that she shouldn't expect anything from me when it comes to housework. She looked furious, but she got up and made dinner, and since then, she's been giving me the silent treatment. I'm full of anger and resentment right now. At first, she got me taking 25 more hours a week, and now she's breaking her promise and trying to manipulate me by giving me the silent treatment. I'm losing my mind.
This is the golden child example of a bait and switch that modern women do to men, and they wonder why men don't want to get married. Men don't want to be around them. Men aren't interested. Men are not committing. Men are not courting. They're not pursuing. A fantastic example of why men have been walking away from dating.
I just want somebody to kiss me. I am touch starved. My love language is physical touch, but I don't like when most people touch me, which is really tough because my lips are sad and my soul is sad. And I just want a good makeout session. Has me like debating re-downloading dating apps just to find somebody to kiss, but I know that's not how they work, and I know it's a bad idea. I know it's a bad idea, so I'm not going to do it. But like, how do I source somebody where I can be like, hey, we don't have to be in a relationship. I just want you to be hot and think that I'm hot, and then we can smooch. And maybe you can hold me. Like if somebody with strong arms were to hold me and snuggle me, that would be really nice too. But the issue is I have to like the person in order to want them to touch me, which then means I should just have a relationship, and I haven't found anybody I like enough to be in a relationship with. I'm suffering.
Never expect a woman to care about you in a relationship because they don't. What they care about is how you benefit them. If you get a better job, she sees it as more resources for her in the future. If you make new high status friends, it improves her social life. Everything she values about you ties back to how it serves her needs and her interests. They don't care about you. They're only going to care about what value you bring to the table and how it serves them. Whether you like how that sounds or not, it doesn't make it any less true.
This is the most selfish women have ever been. I know that's very controversial to say. I know a lot of you may not understand where I'm coming from when I say things like that, but women today are so self absorbed.
You don't ever have to start the get ready with me in your underwear. Like, we know. We know you probably started that way. You don't ever have to show that.
Women are just as primal, carnal, violent, animalistic as men are. The difference between men and women is women don't suffer the same level of consequences men do. Men can literally lose their lives for their primal and carnal ways. Can women do too? Can women lose their lives too? Yes. But it's not on the same level as men, right? Usually when women suffer their consequences, it's because of their doing, right? All of it is our own doing, but we usually destroy ourselves. Men will destroy each other, right? Respect is mandatory for men, right? This is why they assert dominance over each other, and they understand there's a code there with men, right? Generally speaking. Do all men abide by this code? No, but to keep the peace, men abide by the code.
That's where a lot of this stuff, even though you might not agree with it, in a lot of these countries, states, municipalities, that's where they come from. That's where law enforcement comes in. Modern women never really see it. They never partake in it because society has taught everybody to treat a woman and kids delicately. That's why you get a lot of women being disrespectful, and they're getting away with it. Men just haven't really put their hands on you in mass like they could. Are things happening to women? Absolutely. Should they be happening to women? Absolutely not. But for modern women to be out here talking as reckless as they do, moving as reckless as they do at the same rate of men, and not suffering the consequence as a man would, count your blessings.
Gang, I'm gonna give y'all the perfect reason why I don't try, or because if a bitch going, a bitch going. So a couple years ago, you know what I'm saying, I'm at work that I'm dealing with, she worked with me. I'm starting to like her, I'm starting with her. I ain't gonna lie, the vibes there, conversation there. You know how that honeymoon phase is. You damn near be thinking a person perfect, so they do some up their perception, then it's all over. So at the time, I'm a team lead. So I'm chilling in the office. My supervisor comes into the office. So we sitting there talking, chopping up, having guy talk or whatever. So out of nowhere, we just bring up. So as we talking about, he say, "Oh, you'll never believe this. Look at what I got." Shows pictures, booty pictures, butt videos, all type from that I've been dealing with. Now this whole time has been giving me the perception that she's a respectable woman. She's a classy type of person. Whole time she's sending videos, pictures, and everything under the sun to my supervisor. Then on top of that, she with my high-low driver as well. You telling me you were with a 42-year-old high-low driver, then a 24-year-old team lead that tell the high-low driver what to do? That's why I don't trust hoes. Like, I don't trust hoes around, because if they going, I'm going, bro. And me up ever since, because like, she used to smile on my face, but we really put the icing on the cake. One day she sent me a video of her butt naked twerking. I said, damn, going crazy. I say, hold on. This is the same video my supervisor just showed me like 2 weeks ago. So I asked her, like, you know, did you make this video today? She said, yeah. I woke up this morning and had you on my mind and wanted to send you this. I cut off. Oh my God.
Girls don't do nothing. You know that.
Learn to lower your standards. You're running out of time. Oh, that is so interesting that you would assume that I have high standards. I think my standards are actually pretty normal. Let's talk about them. Number one, he has to plan the first date. If he doesn't plan the first date, I'm not saying yes. Number two, he has to pay for the first date, and he has to pay for all of my drinks, and I won't offer to pay for any. Number three, if he wants a second date, I demand to see his bank statements. I won't go on a second date without seeing how much income he actually made. I'm a businesswoman. Don't be triggered. I also require 3 personal references, either from friends or family members, that I need their actual phone numbers so I can call and vet them myself if they want to go on a third date. So if they don't plan the date, pay for my dinner, pay for all my drinks, provide me with at least 3 months worth of bank statements, and give me at least 3 personal references, I'm not their girl. Honestly, I'd make more women should be completing these steps of vetting when it comes to men, especially the men in these comments. I mean, this guy said he's been with 50-year-olds that were 39 once. That's crazy. I think it's pretty simple.
Here's some sprinkle truth. When you're asking about these men and you're saying like, I can't find them, or I go out and like they don't approach me, I'm going to all these places and I'm not having any luck, they are not hiding from you. They are not hiding from you. You can be amongst one of the wealthiest people in your area and not even notice. And I know the gurus preach to you that you need to be on a certain side of town, you need to be, you know, going to all the events and going to expensive car lots. I know they preach all of this very useful information to maximize your opportunity into being in proximity of one of them. But the truth is, they are hiding in plain sight. They're at your local pub. They're at Walmart. They're at Target. They are not hiding from you. They are not cowering at the opportunity or anxiety of approaching you. No one is intimidated by you. Nobody is overthinking how they should be approaching you. You are simply not the target. And as offensive as that sounds, because I know it's not pleasing to hear, but think about the most attractive woman you know and how often you go places with her and she's constantly stopped. She's constantly told how beautiful she is, how good she smells. People, you know, like her mannerisms, the way she talks. They will find you. Oftentimes, they look completely opposite to what you're expecting. And then another thing is like, if you are frequenting the same places, let's say you're going to, you know, the same restaurant, bar, or whatever, and nobody's approaching you, sometimes they're waiting for the opportunities. Sometimes they are observing you and monitoring you like you're the prey and they're the one that's hunting you. Also, it's not just about beauty alone. It's not just appeal or anything of that capacity, or how you're wearing, you know, your outfit, or if you're old money aesthetic. None of it matters. You have to be an energy that they want to be around. And if you are too reliant on your looks and your beauty and your ability to attract them, they will see right through that. SCX is nothing to these men, okay? Beauty is a dime and a dozen. It is literally your entire essence. You have to be something that is almost intoxicating to these men. And it's either going to take you having a lot of game or a lot of experience being around them.
I've been saying this. The man be seeing you in the parking lot, acting crazy, posting TikToks about how you about to go in there and get free drinks and free food. He sees you coming. God forbid you be popular on TikTok. He see that, then automatically any chance that you did have is done. But y'all don't understand that because y'all are not good people. By the time you recognize that he's a quote unquote high value man, the man is already picking up his car from valet and pulling off. Missed opportunity after missed opportunity after missed opportunity, because modern women are not good people and men are not interested in dating that type of woman.
Last night, Shannon Sharpe and Ocho posted a video about how men are no longer obsessed with women. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but this is the reality. Men are simply realizing that a woman being pretty doesn't mean anything anymore. The same way all of these women are coming out and saying, I want a person of a certain height, certain income bracket, a certain level of character. Well, cool, we want to. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So you list all these qualifications, you make men chase after you, you make them feel like you're valuable because you're pretty. The reaction is simply, well, we're going to stop valuing you just being pretty because we need more than that, and wears off almost instantaneously. And we have some qualifications too. Do you have any relationship with a higher power? Do you have an actual plan in life to do something with your life other than just looking cute? And I know a lot of women are going to have a problem with me saying that, but you got to understand this. The men that you're looking for evidence of your worth, that flood your DMs, offer to fly you out, etc., yeah, they're weak men. They're going to cheat on you for the next pretty girl that comes across their screen. And you know that. That's because you complain about them on the internet all the time. Ladies, men are not falling for the facade anymore. You make a man work for you. You make a man feel like you're the prize. And then once he finally gets access, he sees that you're just like every other pretty girl, shallow And it gets to a point that you feel so empowered by it that men are just not willing to tolerate it anymore. Like, it's better for them to just be alone and focus on the bag and their success than it is to chase after you.
Men are not the prize that they think that they are. I made a video last week about how I've been single for almost 2 years and that it's true what they say. The longer that you've been single, the easier it is to stay that way, to the point that I can't really picture myself in a relationship because I don't really like anyone. I've only liked 2 people in the last 2 years. And while most women did agree with me that they feel the exact same way, shared similar experiences, of course, here come along the men somehow making it a negative thing. Saying things like, I know a lot of elderly women that would love companionship, telling me that I need to speed up my sense of urgency because yikes, I'm 35 and it's not looking good for me, as if I care. And pointing out the fact that I must be lonely because I don't have a ring on my finger, which is actually hilarious. I wish men were the prize. I think that that would actually be amazing. But the truth is that most of you are embarrassing. And sometimes keeping a man is embarrassing, especially when everyone around you knows the kind of man that he is. So how is it a prize to be with someone who doesn't treat you well? One Dusty in particular said that it's not a man's responsibility to keep the woman, that it's the woman's responsibility to keep the man, which is laughable to me, but it is a reflection of how a lot of men think. Let me remind you that tolerating a man's disrespectful behavior for the sake of longevity and saying that you've had a partner for X amount of years, that is not a flex. The real flex is loving yourself so much that you will not settle for the bare minimum.
So a question that I asked her, and a question that I think that a lot of men should start asking, is what if you as a woman have been giving bare minimum as well, but you think that you've been doing so good? A lot of modern women out here think they're doing so great. They're just the best looking person to ever walk across the earth. Their friends are hyping them up on this notion, and they never ever truly take accountability for how bad, how terrible they've been in relationships. And even when they do, they still maintain that they're the prize and what they're doing isn't as bad as what somebody else is doing. That's amazing.
Why are men so afraid to approach women these days?
Me too.
Well, I think like there's obviously the fear of rejection in there too. It's not just me too, right?
Oh, certainly.
Men, there are a lot of
100%.
insecure men out there that really don't want to face the possibility of rejection, so they will never put themselves out there. But then again, on the other side, women need to learn how to reject men without being rude to them and having some grace about it. Like that's kind of a lost art, is rejecting someone in a generous way.
Yeah, I 100% agree. A lot of men will have the experience of going up to a girl, and it's like, it can be pretty brutal, the ways in which men get rejected. Certainly in like a party type environment, if there's alcohol involved, even a guy who like in a very polite way goes up to a girl, like when alcohol is involved, people can be very obnoxious and brutal. And also with social media, men are also scared of like, they don't want to come off like a creep, not just in that moment, but then like if the girl goes and tells all her friends, oh, this guy came up to me and approached me, and I don't know, so.
She could record you. Yeah.
This is honestly a great question, and people often ask why I always talk about marriage, because in our community, we're not educated on the difference between just having a man's child and having a man's child who's our husband. The biggest difference with being just a man's baby mama and a man's wife when he has a kid, one of the biggest difference is the respect level. Because you required marriage means that you put a higher standard to conceive a man's child, to be with a man. Number one, first and foremost, is respect. Now, I'm not saying that if you have a child out of wedlock or you don't require a man to marry you first, that you should be disrespected. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I am saying that men, whether they tell you or not, see you very differently. That's why men look at ex-wives with children very differently than they look at women who did not require marriage that have children differently. The next thing after respect is the protection that the woman gets being a wife versus not, just having a man's child. Now, I'm not saying that men who have children with women that they're not married to don't protect them, don't love them. That's not what I'm saying. But I can say for myself, as soon as I got married, the way my husband protected me instantly changed. Like the same day. Once a man makes a vow to marry you, he's vowing to God and the law that he is your protector now. That's why back in the day, it had to be going from your father's home to your husband's home. You went from under your father's protection to your husband's protection. That's how it's supposed to be. Women weren't meant to be out here protecting themselves and doing all of this by ourselves. That wasn't the design. And the third thing is the honor that you all have, right? When a man marries you first, you have his last name, then the child has his last name. In today's society, women just give their children the father's last name out of tradition. But technically how it's supposed to go is the baby is named after the mother because the mother has the same last name as the father. We aren't technically supposed to be having children out of wedlock. So everybody gets the same last name in the home, you know what I mean? A man passing on his name to a woman is an honor. That tells the world, hey, this is my woman. She belongs to me. I got her. Any of y'all mess with her, it's going down. When you do not marry a man, not to say that he won't protect you, it's just very different. The marriage requires it. When just being his girlfriend or his baby mom, it's up to his discretion and his leisure if he wants to. He can also leave when he wants to leave if he's just your boyfriend. Now, can a husband leave you too? Yeah, but it's rare. And after he makes all of those investments, meaning time, energy, money, and a family, most of the time they don't go anywhere. Women most of the time initiate divorce, not men. And there's a process. So a man can't just say, you know what, I don't want to be here no more, end it. Like, not legally anyways. And so he has to go through a process to get from a boundary. A boyfriend can just be like, you know what, I want to do this no more. I'll come get my kids on Sunday, and it is what it is. There's nothing that you can do. There's no legal ramifications. There's no public ramifications. Nobody's going to hold that man accountable. But when he's married to you, God holds him accountable because the Bible says if a man does not treat his wife right, his prayers are hindered. The law holds him accountable because he's legally obligated to be with this woman. And society holds him accountable because good men don't let men just do whatever they want to their wives. It don't work like that. Marriage protects women a lot more than we know. So that was a great question. I'm happy you answered it. I hope that this thorough explanation gave you some more insight. So it is a huge difference. Even if it doesn't seem like it, even on the outside looking in, you can't tell the difference. As a wife, there's a huge difference. Oh, and I forgot to mention the protection that you get in society from other men. Because I am married, there is this force field that's around me where men do not bother me. They don't talk to me. They don't mess with me because they know somebody don't play about me. Men don't play about their wives. I don't care how he treats her. Let somebody mess with his wife. Let his wife get tried by somebody. He pulling up. Even in movies, you will see men, even if they're cheating on them, pull up to beat up whoever over their wife. The Bible warns other men about messing with men's wives. So I hope that explains it. And those are just a few factors. There's a lot more, but I hope that gave you enough to understand what I'm talking about.
This is once again modern women not being able to seal the deal. Modern women continuing to tell us that their frontal lobe is developed and still continuing to ask questions like this, which are simple concepts. In a few years, or maybe even now, she's probably going to be asking, where are all the good men? Why can't I find a man to approach me? Well, you probably need to check your friend zone. Yeah, what I meant to say is, why can't I find a man that I want to approach me? It's probably because with questions like this, your mindset isn't quite what it should be. So the dudes that you want to attract, you can't attract because your mindset is trash. Y'all need to get it together.